Hi, my name is Christian Cavender, and I will be presenting the movie Beach Rats for my film project. So I do want to side note, discuss. I'm in this bathroom because I am on family vacation in Tennessee. But yeah, so let's get into this. So Beach Rats was released January 25th, 2018. So it's pretty modern, new queer cinema, and it was directed and written by Eliza Hittman. And I thought that was very interesting that she directed and wrote this film, and it was directed and written by a woman. I thought that was really interesting and cool. Considering this movie is about teenage man questioning about his sexuality, so it's really cool to see how this was written in a woman's perspective, because I think she really nailed it. So a brief summary would be Frankie is a teenager. I believe he's 19, 20, and he lives in Brooklyn, has a group of straight, I would say, males, because he hides his sexuality basically throughout the entire film until the end, where he does reveal that he does chat with older men with his friends, but he tells them that he only does it to smoke weed, which I'll get into it later. The movie is really about his struggles with the exploration of his sexuality and acting upon it too. And he chats with mostly older men online, and he occasionally meets up with them and smokes with them and hooks up with them. And while this is happening though, this is a little plot twist in the whole movie. I would say he meets a girl, her name's Simone, and this relationship, I would say, would be messy. It's like a roller coaster, because she is very invested in the beginning, but he's not, because he obviously wants to explore his sexuality, but he feels this pressure from his mom to find a girlfriend, to have a girl over. And also, side note, his dad is also on his deathbed, and his only source of income is selling his dad's pills. So it's all really, there's a lot of family drama, and he feels all this pressure from his mom. So he's not really into Simone at first, but he realized she is a cool girl, and he actually ends up I don't know, necessarily getting feelings, but he actually likes hanging with her, and he has her over a lot. And that could do with pleasing his mom, or actually just getting to know her. Um, so overall, I would say this movie is really about him exploring and questioning his options, I would say. And yeah, so some trigger warnings. I would say there's sexual content, graphic nudity, drug use, language, and there is some active violence against a queer individual towards the end of the movie. It doesn't show much, but there is that at the end, which was kind of hard to watch, but you kind of expect it to happen as you watch the movie, because the way it was set up. And yeah, it was really messy. I really do recommend this film, though, because it does capture what a young male, his age, questioning his sexuality might go through, his emotions. And I think Eliza really executed it really well. So some historical and cultural context of this film would be considered, it would be considered new queer cinema, I would say, as it is based and released in modern time. And I feel a lot of now, today, a lot of people do question their sexuality, so I feel a lot of people can relate to this film in a way, or even exploring their sexuality. And in the movie, Frankie is hiding his exploration of his sexuality from his friends and family, as he is unsure if they will be accepting, which I know a lot of people that I have even met face this as well. And even today, there are many questioning people who do keep it a secret because of the uncertainty. So I think this film is very relevant um, to queer film cinema. And I feel like a lot of people should check this film out, as I do think it is unknown. So filmic and visual element of this film, I believe like this film is very indie. I would categorize it. The color palette was very dark and depressing, but also very bright at times. Um, there was not much of a plot to this film, which I thought was very interesting. It wasn't like there was a story and there was like an ending. It was literally kind of like a part of his life that we just saw, like a glimpse of it, of like his exploration, which I thought was really interesting how Eliza went with that, because usually like films, like most modern films, do have like a story that will satisfy like the audience, like, oh, like I can get this. But this film doesn't really have an ending, it doesn't really have a beginning either, and it really makes you think. And I don't know, I really enjoyed that a lot after watching this film. And it's more focused like on his experiences, and you can tell with the colors and the atmosphere how it focuses on his experiences. If there's points of the movies where there's like no like words, it's just like just scenic and like the colors and like shadows, and it was really really interesting to like interpret that. But yeah, so like through the aesthetics, colors, and like acting, this film captures emotional intensity perfectly in my eyes, I would say. Like, it was crazy. So like my critical reflection, this film definitely does an exceptional job of capturing a realistic teenage boy, man, questioning his sexuality and exploring it as well. The entire film, from start to finish, does not have a mainstream plot storyline like Love, Simon, for example. It does show and reveal what questioning people in the queer community deal and experience with, especially emotions. And this is through the script, through the acting, through everything. I feel like it executes this really, really well. But like some ways this film could be critiqued. I really don't have many critiques for this film. It really is a great new queer cinema film. But for me though, my only critique would be like, as in queer representation, the fact that we really do not know his true motive of actually like seeking out these men, like if it was like to smoke with them, or if he really wanted to like explore his sexuality and like really get, like, I don't know, it was very unclear in the movie standpoint, because however, for me personally, I believe he was exploring his sexuality, which is why I really do enjoy this film. Because until he got caught up with his friends and had to make an excuse, like, he was generally like hooking up with them, and like even the way like these men would compliment him, you could tell he was genuinely like very secure and like happy and like felt loved. And I don't feel like he felt, or we saw that when he was with Simone. So like that's why I personally believe he explored his sexuality. But at the end of the film, when he like told his friends about him chatting with older men online to smoke weed, and he only did it to smoke weed, that's when I feel like the audience could be a little confused, because it is really not clear towards the end of the film. And um, which is why I also say like this film really does make you think, because it's really not clear at all. And like the ending scene is just him like by himself like on the beach like walking, and it's just like very up to interpretation. But yeah, I really did enjoy this film. I related to some points of it, and I know many people that I know personally can relate to it even more than I could. So like I would really highly check it out, and you can stream it on Hulu. That's where I streamed it and watched it. And yeah, so check out Beach Rats. It's great, and I hope you guys enjoyed my film review slash project. Thank you.